I lay perfectly still in the dark. To anyone looking, I was asleep. But I wasn't. I was counting. 1, 2, 3. Next to me, my husband Tom was lying on his back. His breathing was shallow, controlled, or so he thought. I'm Dr. Jane Sterling. I'm a forensic pathologist and a criminal psychologist. I've spent my life studying the dead to catch the living. I know what guilt sounds like. And right now, Tom's heart was hammering against his ribcage at 105 beats per minute. A resting heart rate for a man his age should be around 70. 105 means one thing: adrenaline, fear, or excitement. He wasn't sleeping. He was waiting for me to drift off so he could text her. Earlier that evening, I had found the first crack in his perfect mask. I was running a routine security check on our home Wi-Fi. Tom is a tech entrepreneur, or at least, he plays one on LinkedIn. So, our house is smart. Too smart. I saw a device connected to our network that didn't belong. A Huawei Mate X, a burner phone, expensive, foldable. Tom doesn't use Android. He's a brand loyalist. Unless he needs a phone that doesn't leave a trail on our joint iCloud. Honey, did we have guests today? I had asked him over dinner. No. Why? He smiled, but his eyes flickered to the left. Just for a microsecond. Visual memory access versus creative construction. He was crafting a lie. That night, as I listened to his racing heart, my own phone lit up on the nightstand. A message. From my stepsister, Lily. Jane, I have news. Attached was a photo. Lily, sitting in a hospital waiting room, holding an ultrasound scan, smiling like she had won the lottery. And there, resting on her lap, was a brand new foldable Huawei Mate X. The pieces clicked into place. The hunter became the hunted. But Tom and Lily didn't know one crucial fact. They thought I was just the quiet, supportive wife. They forgot that I dissect monsters for a living. The next morning, I played the role of the dutiful wife. I made coffee. I kissed Tom goodbye. Have a great day at the office, honey, I said. I will. Love you, he replied. The moment the door clicked shut, I dropped the smile. I didn't go to work. I drove to the west side, to a dimly lit apartment complex. I needed Dante. Dante is a white hat hacker, a ghost in the machine. I had saved him from a nasty racketeering charge years ago by proving the time of death of a victim cleared his alibi. He owed me, Jane. He greeted me, eyes glued to his 3 monitors. You look like you're on a warpath. I need into a device, I said, handing him the IP address of the burner phone. You want me to hack your own home network? Dante laughed. Domestic disputes are messy, Jane. Just do it, Dante. It took him less than 10 minutes. He used a 4-way handshake protocol. Basically, he kicked the device off the Wi-Fi for a split second. When it automatically reconnected, it sent a packet of data to Dante's server. Bam, we were in. Okay, Dante murmured, mirroring the screen now. The monitor flickered to life. It was Lily's phone. I watched in real time as she scrolled through her photo gallery. It was like a digital museum of betrayal. Photos of Lily and Tom, in my kitchen, in my bed, in the shower. I scrubbed every weekend. There were photos of them kissing in front of my wedding portrait. The audacity was almost impressive. Jane, Dante said, his voice quiet. Check the hidden folder. He clicked it. Videos, not just of them, but recordings of phone calls. I put on the headphones. Tom's voice filled my ears, but it wasn't the sweet voice he used with me. It was cold, calculating. When are you going to leave her, Tom? Lily's voice whined. Patience, babe, Tom replied. We can't just leave. She controls the assets. I need to make sure she walks away with nothing. I'm pregnant, Tom. This is our family now. I know. But if I divorce her now, the prenup kills me. We need a plan. We need her to sign over the liquidity first. I felt a cold rage settle in my stomach. It wasn't heartbreak. Heartbreak is for people who still have hope. This was strategic assessment. Tom wasn't just cheating. He was plotting a financial coup. He wanted my money, my house, and my dignity. But then, I heard another recording. A call between Tom and his best friend Jack. Jack was a sleazy guy. The kind who wears too much cologne and talks about crypto. Tom, you gotta pay up, Jack said. The guys in Macau are losing patience. I'm trying, Jack. I lost $2 million last year. I'm tapping into Jane's account slowly so she doesn't notice. $2 million? Tom, if Jane finds out you're a gambling addict, She'll bury you. She won't find out. She thinks I'm a genius investor. I took off the headphones. Gambling. Tom had blown to $1 million. My money. He wasn't a tech genius. He was a degenerate gambler. And Lily? She was just the vehicle he was driving to get away with it. I looked at Dante. Can you copy everything? Already done, he said. Cloud backup. Encrypted. I stood up. Thanks, Dante. What are you going to do? He asked. I smiled. A cold, forensic smile. I'm going to help them. Help them? Yes. They want my money? I'll let them think they're taking it. But I'm going to make sure when they open the bag, it's full of vipers. The first step of any good psychological operation is to lower the target's defenses. If Tom thought I was strong, he would be cautious. I needed to be weak. I needed to be the victim. The next day, I didn't go to work. I stayed in bed. When Tom came home, I was a mess. I hadn't showered. The curtains were drawn. Jane, what's wrong? He sounded genuinely worried. Or maybe just worried his cash cow was sick. I don't know, Tom, I whispered, making my voice tremble. I feel dizzy, confused. I forgot where I parked the car today. I think the stress is finally getting to me. I played the symptoms of early onset burnout perfectly. Lethargy, confusion, emotional instability. I even staged a few accidents. I left the stove on. I dropped a glass of water and just stared at it. Tom ate it up. He saw an opportunity. You need rest, honey, he said, stroking my hair. You work too hard with all those dead bodies. It's dark energy. Maybe you're right, I sniffled. But who will handle the quarterly investments? The new venture capital fund? Tom's eyes lit up. I could practically see the dollar signs reflecting in his retinas. Don't worry about that, he said soothingly. I can help. Why don't you bring Lillian? She's looking for work, and she's family. She can be your assistant. It was too easy. He invited the wolf right into the sheep pen, thinking he was the shepherd. Lily arrived the next day. She played the concern card well. Oh, big sister, you look terrible, she said, hiding a smirk. Don't worry, I'll handle everything. For the next month, I watched them from the shadows. I pretended to be sedated, lying on the couch, watching reality TV. In reality, I was monitoring every keystroke they made. Lily was incompetent. She didn't know the first thing about business. She signed contracts without reading them. She transferred funds to vendors that were actually shell companies set up by Tom to pay off his gambling debts. But here was my masterstroke. I had legally structured my assets months ago when I first suspected something was off. I had moved my liquid cash into a protected trust. The account Lily was draining? It was a credit line. A credit line backed by Tom's personal guarantee, which he had signed blindly in a stack of papers I gave him weeks ago. They were stealing money that Tom was now legally liable to repay. They were digging their own grave dollar by dollar. One afternoon, I overheard them in the kitchen. They thought I was asleep upstairs. We have almost $3 million in the Cayman account now, Tom whispered. When do we pull the plug? Lily asked. Soon. I need to stage something big. Something to get the last chunk of cash out of her emergency fund. Like what? A kidnapping, Tom said. I almost laughed out loud. It was so kitsch, so dramatic. Tom watched too many movies. He was going to fake his own kidnapping to extort the ransom money from his sick, confused wife. Perfect, I whispered to myself. Now, it's not just embezzlement. It's extortion, a federal crime. 3 days later, the call came. I was sitting in the living room with Lily. My phone rang. Unknown number. I put it on speaker. We have your husband, a distorted voice said. It sounded like a bad sci-fi villain. If you want to see him alive, transfer $3 million to this crypto wallet within 2 hours. No police. I screamed. I threw the phone. I gave the performance of a lifetime. Oh, my God, Tom. They have Tom. Lily hugged me, but I could feel her body tense. She was trying not to laugh. Jane, calm down. We have to pay them. We have to save him. Lily cried out, tears streaming down her face. Oscar-worthy acting, truly. But $3 million. That's everything I have left, I sobbed. Money doesn't matter, Jane. It's Tom. He's the love of your life. I looked at her. You're right, Lily. You're so right. I picked up the laptop. I logged into the bank. I made a show of trembling hands. I'm sending it. It's done. I showed her the screen. Transfer complete. Lily let out a breath she had been holding for 10 minutes. Thank God, she said. He's going to be okay. Of course, he was. He was probably sitting in a motel room with Jack, drinking champagne and watching the crypto wallet fill up. But there was one thing they didn't know. The crypto wallet they provided? I had flagged it with the Cyber Crimes Division days ago. The moment the money hit that wallet, it was frozen, and the GPS location of the device accessing that wallet was pinged instantly. Tom wasn't in a dungeon. He was at the Starlight Motel off Route 66. I didn't call the police yet. Not yet. I needed the finale. Tom returned home that night, looking disheveled. He had ripped his shirt, rubbed some dirt on his face. Jane, he cried, rushing into my arms. They let me go. The moment the money transferred, they threw me out of a van. Oh, Tom. I wept into his chest. I was so scared. I know, baby. I know. But we're safe now. Safe. He thought he was safe. He thought he had $3 million. He thought he had a pregnant mistress and a stupid wife. He had no idea that in 48 hours, it was his birthday party. And I had prepared a special gift, Tom's 35th birthday. He insisted on a massive party. He wanted to flaunt his success. He rented out a rooftop venue downtown. Everyone was there. His business partners, my colleagues, our families. Lily was there, wearing a dress that was slightly too tight, showing off her baby bump. She was practically glowing, clinging to Tom's arm whenever I wasn't looking. Tom looked like a king. He tapped his champagne glass. Attention, everyone, he beamed. The crowd went silent. I just want to say, life is about risks and rewards. And tonight, I feel like the richest man in the world. He looked at me, and to my lovely wife, Jane, thank you for standing by me. A round of applause. Now, Tom said, I prepared a little slideshow of our memories. He pointed the remote at the giant projection screen behind him. That was my cue. I was standing by the AV booth. I nodded to Dante, who was disguised as a DJ. Dante winked and pressed enter. The screen flickered. The first photo wasn't of our wedding. It was a screenshot. The bank transfer. The kidnapping ransom. The crowd murmured confusedly. Tom frowned. What is? Technical difficulties, folks? He clicked the remote again. The next slide. A video. It was Tom and Lily, in my bed. The audio was crystal clear. She's so stupid, Tom. She actually thinks you were kidnapped. I know. We're rich, baby. $3 million. The silence in the room was deafening. You could hear a pin drop. Tom's face went pale, ghost white. Lily dropped her champagne glass. It shattered, the sound echoing like a gunshot. I walked up to the stage. I took the microphone from Tom's limp hand. Technical difficulties indeed, I said calmly. I turned to the crowd. You all know I'm a forensic psychologist. I deal in facts. Fact number 1, my husband and my stepsister staged a kidnapping to extort $3 million from me. That is a felony. I pointed to the screen. Photos of the motel, GPS logs, text messages. Fact number 2, they have been embezzling funds from a credit line that is personally guaranteed by Tom. Which means, Tom, you owe the bank about $5 million as of this morning. Tom started to shake. Jane, wait. And finally, I continued, turning to look at Lily. She was clutching her stomach, looking terrified. Fact number 3, the most interesting one. I clicked the remote one last time. A medical document appeared on the screen. This is Tom's medical file from 3 years ago, before we got married. I zoomed in on the diagnosis. Azoospermia, sterile. A gasp rippled through the crowd. Tom can't have children, I said, my voice cutting through the air like a scalpel. I looked at Lily's pregnant belly. So, Lily, if Tom is sterile, who is the father? I let the question hang there. Then, on the screen, a new photo appeared. A text thread between Lily and Jack, Tom's best friend. Does Tom know the baby is yours, Jack? No, and he never will. He's the payday. You're the fun. The room exploded. Tom turned to Jack, who was trying to sneak out the back exit. You? Tom roared. He lunged at Jack. A fistfight broke out right next to the buffet table. Lily was screaming. Tom was screaming. And I just stood there, watching the chaos. It was beautiful. It was the perfect crime scene. And for once, I didn't have to clean it up. The police arrived 10 minutes later. I had called them an hour ago. They arrested Tom for extortion and fraud. They arrested Lily as an accomplice. Jack got away with a broken nose, but his reputation was destroyed. As they were dragging Tom away in handcuffs, he looked back at me. "Why?" he screamed. "Why didn't you just divorce me?" I walked over to him, calm and composed. "Because, Tom, a divorce splits assets 50-50. I leaned in close. "This way, I keep everything. And you get a cellmate." 6 months later, I'm sitting in my favorite cafe in Paris. The divorce was finalized last week. Since Tom was convicted of felonies against me, the prenup was ironclad. I kept the house, the cars, the savings. Tom is serving 5 to 10 years. Lily is on probation and working at a diner. She has a baby now. Jack is nowhere to be found. I took a sip of my espresso. People ask me if I'm bitter, if I have trust issues. Honestly, no, I view it as a successful case. Closed. I identified the pathology. I gathered the evidence. I neutralized the threat. Life is a lot like a crime scene. If you look closely enough, the truth is always there. You just have to be patient enough to find it. Never underestimate a quiet woman. We hear everything, we see everything, and we always play the long game. If you enjoyed this story of justice served cold, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. I'm Jane, and thanks for watching. Stay sharp out there.